artists. Today we're going to be making a butterfly collage project. I know that we have a lot of cardboard tubes around our houses, so grab one of those, and I used a marker and I just quickly colored the tube. You're welcome to paint it or just leave it brown. And the next thing we're going to do with the tube is we're going to cut it in half. Okay, and then we're going to cut it in half again. So I'll end up with 4 sections. And we're going to set these off to the side and we'll pick these back up in a few minutes. Next, you're going to need some colored paper, colored strips of paper. If you don't have colored paper, then you might have white paper, hopefully, and you can just color some white paper. So you'll just pick maybe 3 or 4 colors and color some strips of paper, and you can just use those. And we're going to cut these strips into squares. For my little friends, remember when we're cutting, you keep your thumb pointed towards the sky, and we just move this top finger here. We just move our thumb, and we're not waving our arms all around. Our arms are glued to our sides, and we're just lifting our thumb up, and that little baby alligator is cutting the paper, okay? Now I have a white paper. I chose to cut mine into a square. Yours can remain a rectangle, that's fine. You could also do this on a piece of cardboard. If you finished a box of cereal and you had the side of the box, that would be great too. So I'm going to use my glue stick and I'm going to begin gluing my pieces down. And a lot of times in class, I say to put the glue on the small piece, and that is true, that would be great. But for the sake of time, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put the glue on my paper. Okay, and I'm going to now glue around. Trying to keep the squares pretty close together. That's looking pretty good, but I think I'm going to add one more ring. Now I'm ready to make my butterfly, or build my butterfly, I should say. These rings are going to become the wings. So I think I'll build my butterfly right here. So these rings, I'm going to put together 2 on one side. I'm going to pinch it so that it is not an oval, but it has a point on the end, maybe like a lemon or an almond. They kind of naturally happened when I cut it. It sort of crunched it, so that works out. So here are my wings, and now I need a body. If you have a popsicle stick or a real stick from outside, that might be kind of fun to use. It's raining right now, so I'm not gonna go get a stick. I forgot to get one earlier. I think I'm just gonna use some white paper and a brown marker. And I'm gonna draw my body. Maybe I'll even add a little bit of green on here. and I'll cut it out. Notice how I'm turning my paper with my helping hand. This hand always remains with the scissors pointing out. I'm turning my paper as I cut. Okay. So now we're ready to build our butterfly. So my butterfly will be here. I can go ahead and actually glue that down. And then these wings, you'll probably need some liquid glue to make them stick to the paper. So I'm going to take my glue, and you know what we could actually do? I am going to, you could use a little plate or a baggie. This is just a piece of paper I had out. I just was thinking about this. We could put a little glue out like this and just dip the edge instead of trying to perfectly glue it along the edge. This might work a little better and maybe be less messy, we'll see. Okay, and now I'm going to stick it there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Make sure I have enough glue on there. Do the same thing. And I'm also going to put a little dot of glue on the side where that wing is going to connect. And this is a project you'll have to glue down and just let it sit and dry for a little bit. If you have hot glue and you can have a grown-up help you with that, that could even work too, actually be faster. All right, so I'm going to kind of pinch this together to get it to dry where I want it to dry. And then lastly, if you had a little pipe cleaner or wire, you could use that for the little antennas. I do not have one around me right now, so again, I can just get a marker and draw my little antenna there. And I would let this dry for a while, and if you feel that you don't have enough glue, you could always go back with your glue bottle and add a little extra around the edges. And then when they're dry, I sure hope that you will hang them up for your family to enjoy.